Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome back to the High Ticket Portal. I am so pumped for this episode because it's a really practical follow-up to the previous episode where we spoke about nervous system regulation, how to manage your emotions when you're feeling flooded, the 3 states of your autonomic nervous system, fight or flight and dorsal shutdown and feeling safe, all of those things. And I'm creating this follow-up episode for female entrepreneurs so that you can become a more powerful businesswoman, so that you can make more sales, so that you can expand in your business without nervous system shutdown, so you can expand your bank account and just live a bigger, happier life that's in alignment with your dreams. So running a online business as a woman requires a lot from you. You have to show up. You need to be seen if you're the face of the company or the face of your business. You have to learn how to take up space. You have to learn how to lead. You have to do all these things. And it requires your nervous system to be able to handle that. So just a little refresher from last time, the 3 different states of your autonomic nervous system. You have your sympathetic, the fight or flight, when you want to run away and you feel like anxious or you want to punch something or you're just kind of like scared and you have adrenaline in your body. In business and when showing up online, we're not fighting tigers anymore. When we used to have this, fight or flight system that kept us alive, now we're terrified of showing up online. What does it look like when your sympathetic nervous system is on in your business? It looks like talking too fast. It looks like over-explaining, trying to convince people, rushing in the conversation, feeling anxious and overthinking every single post. Maybe you're bringing more awareness into feeling how your fight or flight, your sympathetic nervous system gets activated when there's fear around certain things that you're doing. Now, we don't want to completely trash the sympathetic nervous system. We need it sometimes. It gives us adrenaline. We can go and it can be positive. But if you are too much for too long in your sympathetic nervous system, constantly in fight or flight, this is going to ultimately completely drain you. And I see this with so many female entrepreneurs where they have these big launches or they're taking on a bunch of people, creating these huge projects that they actually don't have a nervous system capacity for. And they're jumping too big too soon. And that's going to crash your nervous system unless you're equipped with being able to regulate yourself. So this is really important. And this is why I have these episodes, because this is for the women who want to go big, who want to expand, but expansion without collapsing, expansion without burnout, expansion with feeling safe and grounded and not like your nervous system is getting all fried. I'm going to teach you how to expand in little micro movements so that it doesn't become too much too soon and so that your business doesn't end up being traumatizing. So that's the sympathetic, increased heart rate, blood to your hands, feeling a little stressed and just a little like, Probably all familiar with that feeling. And then you have your dorsal, your freeze. This is shutdown. You just go a little bit numb. You just lose motivation. You just lose enthusiasm. You don't really feel anything anymore and your body's just checked out. This is not a bad thing. It can be uncomfortable, but your body is really smart. It needs to rest. It's been too stressful for too long. So your body just goes, you know what? We're just going to shut everything down. We're just pressing the off button here. Like we're just going to shut down. You're not going to feel anything. You're not going to think anything. Concentrating is too hard. So you're forced to rest to take care of your body. So number 2, dorsal shutdown. And again, this is what I see a lot with female entrepreneurs. Lots of entrepreneurs, but female entrepreneurs who take on too much too soon, and their nervous system just goes, I can't carry all of these clients. I can't carry this business. I'm just in my masculine all the time. And then they just shut down and disappear. And then they do it again. And believe me, I've been there in the past. Society programs women to show up like men, and we're not supposed to do that. So I am going to make more episodes about how to run a business as a woman and not like a man. I'll give you a few tips here now, but that's going to be a whole nother episode in and of itself. And then we have the ventral state. So this is when you're feeling calm, safe, regulated, magnetic. This is when it's easy to think, like you just feel clear, you have energy, you feel content, you're more connected to your heart, you're calm, you're grounded, you're open, you're confident. If something comes up, you're like, oh, okay, I'll just deal with it. So your ventral state is when you're calm, regulated, centered, all right? This looks like when you can do Zoom calls and it feels comfortable. You're posting on social media and you feel good about it. And you're just going about your day without any additional thought forms on top of it that signals like, I'm burnt out, or I'm really stressed, or this sucks, or I can't deal with this anymore. You can go through your business without this extra load of negativity happening in your mind. This is where we prefer to be. We all like to be nice and safe and regulated and calm, But what we don't want to do here, again, like we don't want to demonize the fight or flight. We don't want to demonize any of these states. They're all there for a reason. And it's not about just being in the ventral state all the time and being calm and regulated all the time. It's not about that. It's about being able to take yourself between the different states, you yourself, to be able to move yourself from dorsal to ventral to fight or flight yourself. Because what happens is that we feel so victimized by these states, because sometimes if we're stuck in a fight or flight, we have this additional panic because you're like, I can't get out of it. How do I get out of this state? And that's when we feel like we're losing control. But you want to be able to be resourceful yourself and recognize when you're in these different states and be able to move yourself in between them, one to another. So how does dysregulation, let's go a little deeper into this. How does dysregulation show up in your business? So here's some real reasons why you sabotage your sales. If you have panic and anxiety and feelings of unworthiness around the pricing on your packages, that's going to be felt on the other side. I don't think Lamborghini or the owners of big brands are like, oh no, I don't want to put a $3 million tag on the car. Or people who sell mansions and houses, like, oh, I don't want to sell that for $10 million. Oh. There's no emotional charge around it. There's just a natural, relaxed given and knowing. They're in the ventral. Yeah, of course, this is the price. It might go up next year. Buy now. They're in the ventral state around the pricing. So if you feel panic around the pricing of your products, there's two things you need to look at. Number one, are you overpricing? That could be the case. We see this a lot online because everyone now is selling something. Everyone now can show up online. Everyone now can set up an Amazon store. Everyone can sell things online these days. Before, it used to be businesses and big names. Now everyone can sell something. And we have seen this surge and increase of people who just, because they just feel like it, just slap a big price tag on what it is that they're selling. And it doesn't actually represent the value of what they're selling. Like people feel ripped off basically after having bought whatever it is that they bought. So if you're feeling panic around your pricing, do a market comparison and check, are you overcharging? Most likely not. For most people, it's number two. So the two things you need to look at is number one, am I overcharging? If you haven't gotten your pricing, dialed in, then just start with the average and work yourself up from there as you get better at your craft. Simple. The second thing to look at is if you're not overpricing and you actually have a really fair price for your product, but you feel all this anxiety and like, oh, this is so much and people can't afford it. That's subconscious. That's your belief system. Because guess what? There's tons of people out there who have lots of money. There's no lack in this universe. And if other people who have less education than you, less experience than you, less skill set, and not even as good as products or offerings can make more money than you, then you can definitely offer what you're offering for the price that you want to offer it for. And if some people can't afford it, that's not a sign that no one can afford it. I see a lot of people go into, oh, no one can buy my $2,000 coaching package where you're going to invest time and energy into helping another person, and you've already put money into educating yourself and setting up your own business. Isn't what you are offering worth it? And the thing with this is the thing. A lot of times, if people tell you they can't afford it, it's not that they can't afford it. We see people with little money manage to get a lot of money for whatever it is that's really important to them. If they say they can't afford it, there's two things that have happened. Either you haven't been able to communicate to them what their transformation is going to be. So they can't see the transformation that you're going to take them through. So it's just that. It's just that. So you don't have to take it personal. But if you you do want to work on your communication though, it's really important if you have a high price tag that it's clear. It's very clear, crystal clear. People don't buy when they're confused. You have to make it crystal clear to people. What are they going to get out of it? How long is it going to take? What are the results going to be? You have to manage all of their expectations, basically. So another way dysregulation shows up in your business and sabotages your business is that you avoid launching and you avoid visibility because of fear. Most of these things are fear-based. Most of the things that hold us back is fear. So we're going to be eliminating a lot of fear here in this podcast. So you have launch avoidance. This means you postpone. So if you're postponing things in your business, if you're not like, boom, getting on every day and you're excited about it. Like I have 2 herniated discs right now and I still want to record this episode because I love this podcast. Don't worry, I'm not putting myself in extreme pain, but I'm just saying if you have avoidance around showing up, it doesn't mean that you don't have a mission or you don't have a purpose. You just got to get over this little visibility thing, and that's normal. When I first started making videos and showing up online, like I felt awkward. We all have to go through that awkward phase of like, here I am just talking away in this echo chamber. There's always a little bit of an awkward phase. Get over the awkward phase. Guess what? You're going to get used to it. It's just like when you go to the gym and you have no idea how to use any of the machines and you feel clueless. The more you go to the gym and the more you show up and the more you exercise, obviously with technique, the more comfortable you will feel. And eventually you'll start to love it. And this is a big one for women, this visibility thing. Of course, because of, generations and generations and generations of shaming and punishing and being held back. It's normal if you feel a little fear about showing up. Don't be so hard on yourself. Make an awkward video, put it out there. Guess what? No one ever remembers. People just think about themselves at the end of the day. No one ever goes to bed and thinks about one of 100 million reels that they've scrolled through on Instagram, and they're like, "Oh, do you remember that reel where Sarah spoke about something important and in one of the words she stuttered a little bit?" Like, no one cares. It's about the message, not so much about all of the little details that we get so hung up about. Focus on the message, and then you will feel more comfortable in showing up. But this one is big. Like, there's other things that I will, tell women to be like, okay, calm down on that one because you're just pushing yourself. This one, with visibility and showing up, I will push. Show up and get comfortable showing up, because there's a level of confidence that will be built in you over time that will be untouched unless you do it. So show up, honey, show up. So another way self-sabotage happens with dysregulation, you got wobbly boundaries. It's important to look at, where do we unconsciously have wobbly boundaries? So people-pleasing is a nervous system response. It's not necessarily a personality flaw. People-pleasing comes from, just being... People-pleasing is basically, if I can just manage everyone else around me and make everyone else happy, then I will be fine. And sometimes you have to learn to say no. Sometimes you have to learn to set a standard and be okay with it, regardless of how people are going to feel. This is crucial in your business, because if you people please in your business, you are going to burn yourself out. People pleasing in your business looks like doing everything you're on your own, trying to do everything for everyone else, micromanaging everyone else's emotions in your business. And guess what? That's not your responsibility. Your responsibility, if you're the leader in the company, if you're the owner, if you're the CEO, if you're the founder, if you're the one who's leading, then you're responsible for leading, not people pleasing. So I just wanted to quickly go through how dysregulation shows up in your business. And now we're going to go over how to fix it. We're coming in with solutions over here. And how to fix it the feminine way. So let's go into when you go into a bit of a freeze, or if you feel too anxious, or you want to increase your prices, or maybe you're going to go on a call, you have a sales call, and you notice you feel a little nervous, you're a little tense, and you have this attachment to the outcome, and you're like, oh, I actually don't want to bring this energy with me. What do we do? Before you go on the call, before you show up on the video, before you do anything, you stop and you pause and you breathe. We spoke about this in another episode, how you can do this breathing technique to calm yourself down. And it is incredible how just a minute of calm, regulated breathing can slow your nervous system, well, not slow your nervous system down, but regulate your nervous system and make you feel more calm, grounded, and centered. So just a little recap from the other episode. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and exhale for 4 seconds. The box breathing, right? If you can exhale for 6 seconds, just a little longer than you inhale, then that's even better. This will calm your heart rate down and make you feel more grounded and more centered. And like I said earlier, if you have anxiety around when it comes to the close or for sharing your price, breathe. Just breathe and relax. And you can tell yourself, oh, I'm just going to relax now. Sometimes when we feel stressed and worried, we don't think we can do anything. No, you absolutely can. You can calm yourself down at any moment in time. This is about putting yourself in the driver's seat, making you capable of calming yourself down whenever you need to do it. So whenever you feel panic or anxiety in your business, stop, breathe, ground, calm yourself down. And step number 2, what you can do to fix the dysregulation, to fix the shrunken capacity in your business, because you want to expand, right? What you can do is anchor into your wealth identity. So if you've ever witnessed anyone go through a huge expansion in their business, I have so many friends who've started businesses and I've seen them grow and they've become multimillionaires, and I've just watched their evolution. I'm just like, wow, look at them. And they're always going to be them. They're always going to have the essence of them. Like their soul essence is always there. Like, we never really disappear from our true personality. However, we do shift identity. And you see this with people who grow and expand a lot, is their identity changes. If they go from like a little small, insecure, shrunken person who asks for permission all the time and talks really slow and doesn't have any confidence, and then they just grow into this like boom woman and just like, here I am, I got presence, I can take up space, I feel safe in myself, I ask for things. It's just such an incredible identity shift. So focus on the identity, your wealth identity. Who's the version of you who's calm, regulated, confident, and can lead? That's a version of you. And I know it's really popular these days to do identity work. This is fun. You get to pick your identity. And it's not about changing who you are. All of your adorable mannerisms are probably all going to be there. It's not like your friends are going to be like, what are you doing? Why are you talking like that? You're not going to start acting, but you are going to start shifting. Some people might find it a little intimidating when you're suddenly more calm and you're grounded and you're able to set boundaries. And it might trigger something in them. And that's okay, because they maybe preferred you when you were easy to deal with and walk all over. Now suddenly you have some standards and you got some boundaries. That's hard for them. Well, tough shit. That can be tough for them because you're now making life easier for yourself. And if they're not willing to support that, then do they really have a place in your life? There are people who do wish that for you, and they are the people that you want to have in your inner circle. So as you shift in your identity, you also get to see who do you want in your inner circle. Inner circle is a whole other topic. But bear that in mind too. As you shift your identity, who's there to support you and who doesn't? And you gotta have to keep walking strong in your identity shift. So tune into your wealth identity. Who is the version of yourself that's got it all? Tap into her and feel what it feels like to be her. All right, step number 3. Hold the sensation. Don't run from it. If you're scared of a state, anxious, sad, depressed, fearful, you're never going to succumb to anything in life. Because let's say you do have a speech and you have to go on stage and it's the first one you've ever done in a really long time and it's in front of hundreds of people. Of course you're going to be scared. Of course you're going to be nervous. But if you make a decision to run from that instead of doing it, then you're not going to achieve what you want to achieve. So this is not about pushing through our limits. It's about building a ability to sit with emotions, even when it's uncomfortable. Because if you're feeling fear, you're feeling fear. If you're feeling sad, you're feeling sad. If you're feeling depressed, you're feeling depressed. It's not like by just pretending that it's not there, that it goes away. It's there. So you want to be able to turn towards your feelings. Go into them all the way through. Dive into them as much as you can. And what you'll notice is that if you dive straight into your feelings and let yourself feel them fully, if you're in a space to do that, obviously, a safe space, very important, that part, safe space to feel your feelings fully, it will pass faster than if you resist it or you try to run away from it. Okay, step number 4, build capacity with micro stretching. This one is so important. This one is so important. This one is so important. I see so many women go from having like $1,000 packages and then they're like, I'm going to sell $10,000 packages. And they just have this internal freak out because the jump is so big that is too much for their nervous system to hold. So start with micro stretching. Just like the gym. If you go to the gym and you can lift, 5 kilograms or pounds, whatever you use, don't go from 5 to 25, you go incrementally. So start with micro stretching. What does micro stretching look like in your business? So again, like I said, you don't just jump from 0K to 50K. You don't just jump from 10K to 100K in 2 days. You can stretch your system gently by raising your price 10%, and let there go a little time and let yourself calibrate to that. And then you can raise it 10% again, if that seems reasonable. And then what you can do is practice the things that we've practiced here and increase your visibility 10%. Maybe you make Instagram stories, but you don't have a YouTube channel. Open a YouTube channel and make a video a week, or even just a video a month to start with. And then you've increased your visibility by 10%. Set one boundary. Think of where you've been basically leaky in your energy and allowed yourself to overextend yourself in your business, and take that back and set a boundary. It can even be with yourself. For example, I refuse to overextend and overwork in my business. And what are the positive outcomes that you'll get from that? You get to rest. You get to let someone work for you. Outsourcing doesn't necessarily have to be expensive either. Let someone do something for you. For my hyper-masculine, hyper-independent women, practice that. Let someone do something for you. I highly encourage that. Practice receiving more, as a woman. You're designed for it. Practice receiving more. Everyone benefits. So to close this off, I want to remind you that your voice is safe. Some affirmations that you can tell yourself every single day. Your voice is safe. Your success is safe. Your sales are safe. Your desires are safe. Receiving is safe. Wealth is the new normal. A lot of this has to do with just feeling safe at the end of the day. Where can I calibrate myself to feel safe in having 20K, 30K, 40K months? Or maybe you're going from 5 to 10, and that's your next level up. and feeling safe in that, normalizing it instead of it being like, oh my God, I'm making $5,000 more per month. This is a lot. Take away the drama around it. Catch this inner critic that's like, oh, people can't afford it. Oh, I look shitty online. Oh, like how much you're judging yourself, and put a stop to that. Start telling yourself, I'm on mission. I'm here to serve other people. I'm worthy of raising my prices. My business is safe. It's safe for me to show up. It's safe for me to be visible. I trust myself. I love myself. I'm safe in myself. I can source this sense of safety in myself. Say that with me. I can source my sense of safety in myself. Let's say it again. I can source my sense of safety within myself. Notice how you just feel different from saying that just 5 times. Like for my yogis out there, the power of mantra. So splash affirmations everywhere, on your phone, on your fridge, on your laptop, everywhere. Remind yourself. Create this positive inner dialogue with yourself. And you will shift in your identity as a result of that. So the way that you speak to yourself is going to help you with the identity shift that we spoke about earlier. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's always such a joy and an honor for me to show up for you. I love doing this, and I'm so happy that this podcast is already helping so many people. So please share, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a rating, because this podcast is for you. So I love you so much, and I will see you in the next episode.